The once serene landscape of Crimea was now marred by the smoke and fire of war. Ukraine had delivered devastating strikes in a daring attempt to reclaim its lost territory. The air was thick with tension, smoke, and the acrid smell of burning fuel. It was a crisp morning when the first missiles were launched from the Ukrainian air bases, their path marked by trails of smoke as they cut through the sky towards their targets. The Ukrainian president had made it clear that this was a mission of reclaiming sovereignty and sending a powerful message to those who had usurped their lands. This was not just a battle for land, but for pride and self-determination. On the ground, Captain Mykola Sokolov stood by his men, each soldier a portrait of grim determination. They were tasked with securing an important strategic bridge that led into Crimea. With a mix of anxiety and resolve, they moved under the cover of the artillery fire. Mykola had been part of the Ukrainian forces for over a decade. He had seen conflicts rise and fall, but this, he knew, was different. It was personal. His family roots traced back to Crimea, and the pain of losing the land was shared by many of his fellow soldiers. "We move at first light." Mykola's voice was calm, but resolute as he briefed his unit. "Remember why we fight. For our families, for our future. We take the bridge, and we hold it until reinforcements arrive." As the sun began to rise, casting a blood-red hue over the land, the time came. Mykola signaled, and his men moved quickly and quietly. The element of surprise was crucial. They faced resistance, but their resolve was unwavering. The fighting was fierce. Bullets flew, and the roar of tanks could be heard in the distance. Mykola led from the front, his presence a pillar of strength for his men. The bridge was heavily fortified, but each inch they gained was a step closer to victory. Meanwhile, high above, Ukrainian jets roared across the skies. Their payloads dropped with precision, targeting key military installations within Crimea. The strikes were strategically planned, aiming to weaken the enemy's grip and morale. Throughout the day, the battle raged on. Mykola's unit sustained casualties, each loss a bitter reminder of the battle's cost. Still, they pushed forward, driven by a determination that knew no bounds. By nightfall, the strategic bridge was under Ukrainian control. Reinforcements arrived just as the final shots of the day were fired. Mykola, exhausted but triumphant, looked over the land his ancestors once called home. This was just the beginning, he knew, but it was a moment of hope. The battle for Crimea was far from over, but these decisive strikes had shifted the momentum. The Ukrainian people watched from afar, their hearts filled with renewed hope. In the midst of fire and fury, they dared to dream of peace.